Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be trying to answer the question, what is the best weapon to use in Grand Theft Auto Online? So this is something that I've actually not thought about all that much. I own all the weapons in the game, but I don't particularly go for like one over the other, and I never really looked into the files of the game to see if which one was, truly better than another, if one rifle was way better than another. But today we're going to dive into that information a little bit and find out which weapons in each category are the best. So a user on Reddit, Zlatan-itis, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, posted a really cool spreadsheet of a lot of the information of the guns and what they do, and we're going to be diving into that right now. I'll leave links to both that I'm using in the description down below, so that if you want to take a look at it for yourself without me talking over it, you can. But we're going to be jumping into all the weapons today. The only two categories we're going to be excluding are melee weapons because they are all the same, and then you have the explosives like RPGs, grenade launchers, grenades, stuff like that, because those are kind of difficult to measure. So before we jump into the various weapons, we're going to be measuring 6 different things: damage, RPM, DPS, BTK, TTK, and accuracy. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably don't know what those are. I didn't know what they stood for at first, so let's jump into them. So damage is gun damage for each bullet at point blank. Pretty simple. RPM stands for rounds per minute. It assumes infinite magazine size and infinite ammo. DPS stands for damage per second, and it's the damage times the RPM divided by 60, which would be for 1 minute. BTK is bullet to kill. TTK is time to kill, assuming infinite magazine size. Countdown starts after the first bullet is fired. And accuracy is spread and recoil. So we're going to jump into our first category here with handguns. And green indicates the best, whereas the darkest red will indicate the worst. So you can see here, as far as damage go, the marksman pistol is going to provide the best amount of damage. However, as far as RPM, DPS, and TTK goes, that goes to the AP pistol. So it seems as if the AP pistol might actually be your best bet here as far as handguns go. Now, the only thing that the AP pistol doesn't excel at a ton is accuracy, which is understandable because it is fully automatic, and when you fire it, that thing fires super fast. So that's probably going to be your only issue right there. Now, if you're going for, once again, heaviest damage, the heavy revolver or the marksman pistol is going to be your best bet, and it's also going to be one of your best bets as far as accuracy and BTK goes. But once again, you're very, very limited in your RPM. So essentially, between the AP pistol and the heavy revolver and the marksman pistol, you're trading off how fast you can shoot versus how accurate you want to be and how much damage you're going to put out. All right, so let's move on to shotguns. The shotgun that actually pumps out the most damage is the sawed-off shotgun. I actually haven't been using this a whole lot, with second place belonging to the double barrel. Now, the double barrel shotgun also takes home first place in RPM, DPS, BTK, and TTK, which is actually pretty crazy. So the double barrel actually might give you the best chance. The only problem with that is if you miss with the double barrel, you are in trouble because that reload time is going to be pretty insane. Now, that's the only thing where I think RPM doesn't go into account for here, because with the double barrel, you're going to have to reload. So I think that the assault shotgun might actually be the winner here, because it still matches the BTK with the double barrel shotgun, and it still has a pretty good TTK as well. And I think the RPM is a little bit more accurate there. And also, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions for each category as well. I'm just kind of reading off what I see on this chart right here. Let's move on to submachine guns, though. There's 3 submachine guns that seem to do the most damage. That's the combat PDW, the machine pistol, and then the SMG Mark II. So this is where the Mark II weapons are going to come into effect here, and it does seem as if upgrading to Mark II variants gives you no downside, because as you can see, between the SMG and SMG Mark II, it doesn't get worse in any category. In fact, it gets better in damage, it gets better in DPS, BTK, and TTK as well. So it seems as if you have no reason to not upgrade a weapon to Mark II. And we see the exact same thing here. Now, your most accurate submachine guns are going to be the Assault SMG, the Combat PDW, and the Machine Pistol, with your fastest firing one being the Mini SMG. So the Mini SMG puts out a ton of bullets per minute, which is insane. So again, if you're going for damage, Combat PDW. If you're going for lots of rounds, go for the Mini SMG. And if you're going for accuracy, the top 3, the Assault SMG, Combat PDW, and Machine Pistol, are probably your way to go. Now, if we move on to LMGs, the answer is pretty self-explanatory. I see no reason why someone shouldn't use the upgraded Mark II version of the Combat MG. As you can see here, it's the best in all categories. It puts out the highest damage with 47, tied for the highest RPM. It has the best damage per second, the best BTK, and the best TTK, and tied for the best accuracy too. So that pretty much points it out right there that the Combat MG Mark II is the best LMG, and it also does incredible damage compared to the next category we're going to be looking at, which is the assault rifles. I would imagine the assault rifles is the most popular of the weapons that are going to be used here. And immediately what I see here is the advanced rifle jumps out in a lot of categories except for damage, which might be its downfall. So as you can see, it is first in RPM, DPS, almost first, tied for second in BTK, and first in TTK and accuracy. So if you want to go for an overall good rifle, the advanced rifle is probably your best bet. However, the biggest difference that I'm looking at here is the damage difference between the assault rifle and the assault rifle Mark II. So on its own, the assault rifle has the worst damage of all the assault rifles. However, the upgraded version has the best damage by a long shot at 40 compared to the next closest, which is only 34. It also has the best BTK as well, and it also doesn't have bad damage per second. The only thing it's going to be lacking is the worst accuracy and tied for the worst rounds per minute out of all the assault rifles. So I think your best options here is going to be either the advanced rifle if you want an overall pretty good one, the assault rifle Mark II if you're looking for the highest damage, or the carbine rifle Mark II, which isn't amazing in really any category, but is still overall pretty good. So those would be the three assault rifles that I would go for, given those facts right there. If we move over to sniper rifle, I think this one's kind of tough because the sniper rifles in general serve different purposes. So for example, if you want to put out more rounds per minute, the marksman rifle is certainly going to be your better bet. If you also want better accuracy, marksman rifle is the way to go. I think the sniper rifle can be really eliminated here as it's worse in all the categories: damage, RPM, DPS. So don't use the regular sniper rifle. Honestly, what you should do is get the heavy sniper and upgrade it to the heavy sniper Mark II, where it receives a boost in damage and DPS as compared to the regular version. It also has access to some of the really special rounds, like explosive rounds and stuff like that. Those are also other factors to account here, but again, those are all subjective, whether you want like thermal scopes or whether you want explosive or incendiary rounds. So I'm going to leave that up to you. We're just going with the facts that are found in the files. So bottom line, the heavy sniper Mark II is most definitely your best bet. And then we have the heavy weapon, which is the minigun. And since the minigun's kind of in a category of its own, you can see it does 30 damage, 3,000 rounds per minute, 1,500 DPS, 11 BTK, 0.2 TTK, and 4.5 as far as accuracy goes. Now, the only other thing that this kind of graph or this spreadsheet told us about was the player health rank, which is actually kind of interesting. So from rank 1 to 19, a player has 238 points of health. From 20 to 39, 256. From 40 to 59, 274. From 60 to 79, 292. From 80 to 99, it's 310. And then with 100 plus characters, it's 328. And armor adds an additional 50. So that right there is some pretty good information. And this user also gives us some tips to what weapon we should go for if we're a certain type of player. So he says, aim for BTK if you're a marksman, aim for RPM if you're the opposite of a marksman, aim for TTK if you intend to get into the CQC, where the first to shoot usually wins, aim for DPS if you're going for long distance, full of cover fights. Accuracy works with sustained unscoped fire. Usually scoping gives 0.5 multiplier and moving a ×2 multiplier. So once again, I'll leave links to both the spreadsheets that I'm using in the description, but that should give you a pretty good idea as far as what are the best weapons in Grand Theft Auto Online and which ones you should be using in certain situations. Now, at the end of the day, most of this is subjective, which one you feel most comfortable with, which one you have a personal connection with or that you like or whatever the case is, but there are some weapons that are better for certain situations, and hopefully this video helped you out with something like that. But anyways, that's all the information I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments section down below which gun is your favorite in Grand Theft Auto Online. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go and enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care and I'll see you guys in the next video.